We interrupt this Tom Cruise movie to bring you Sully. What's good, everybody? It's TVB. I'm here today to review the film The Mummy, which is a 2017 reboot to the 1990s film The Mummy, and it stars Tom Cruise, Jake Johnson, Russell Crowe, and Wallace, whatever her name is, some British girl. Yeah, so they're soldiers and archaeologists. They find a hidden tomb in Iraq, or I think it is a tomb at least, that holds a sarcophagus, a mummy that's been buried here for thousands of years. And they bring it. Oh, they try bringing it to the UK, but of course the mummy is cursed, and she eventually comes back to life and wreaks absolute havoc on the world. Okay, I had very mixed anticipations for this Mummy reboot. I mean, I love Egyptian mythology. I'm a big sucker for like legends and myths and cool things like that. And I've seen parts of the Mummy with Brendan Fraser and Scorpion King. I do remember watching Tomb of the Dragon Emperor when I was in middle school. I mean, my sister hated it, but I liked it. I mean, I was in middle school. What do you expect? But when I saw the trailers for this film, I'm like, does the Mummy franchise really need a reboot? Like, is that necessary? Is this gonna be yet another like unnecessary like reboot? And also, this is supposed to be like the start to the Dark Universe, where Universal takes like a lot of their classic monsters and makes modern films for them, like, and yet another cinematic universe. Like, I don't know. My feelings for this one went both ways. And I would have seen it last weekend. Like, I was in Colorado at the time for freshman orientation at my college and for my grandmother's funeral. So I would have seen it there instead of this weekend. But my sister was with me that weekend, and she hadn't seen Wonder Woman yet. So I saw Wonder Woman for a second time instead. So yeah, I decided to see this movie this weekend. Just why not? And Universal, you might want to think of what direction you're taking this new franchise of yours in. I gotta say. Let me just clear this out right now. The special effects in this movie are fine, and so is the performance in this movie. They're fine too. I mean, I'm not gonna go too hard on the film, but it's just like the execution of like this entire movie. It's like that's what this whole film falls under, the execution. When you're making a campy like monster movie like this, that's what it all comes down to. And yes, this film, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is fine, but like. It comes to a point where like they try making jokes, they try making you laugh at certain parts, but it just comes off as like weird or just like WTF, what is this? Like that sort of thing. Like Jake Johnson's character, without spoiling it, he appears very sporadically throughout the film in a way where it's just like at times it's funny, but at the same time he's just like, what on earth am I watching? And the mummy like princess who's like wreaking havoc on the planet. Like, I think her name's like Amanette. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Amanette. Where she appears, when she appears, it's like, oh, you're sexy, but sometimes you're just sometimes she just acts like a very cancerous version of Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Precious! Like, yeah, just the way she walks. I was just like, I don't like this. And probably the biggest gripe I have with this film is that a lot of things happen that don't make sense. Like, I get it. It's a campy monster movie. Not everything's supposed to make sense. But, like, this film, the whole backstory of the mummy is this, like, Amanette, like, she was a beautiful Egyptian princess who was going to take the throne, but then, like, her parents, like, the pharaoh has a son, and he's going to be the next pharaoh instead, but she wants all the power, so she kills her parents and everyone she loves, and then to punish her, like, she makes a deal with Set, the god of death, but then they punish her for her crimes, so like they mummify her alive and just like and bury her in this like not a tomb, it's actually a prison. But in the film, the prison isn't in Egypt, it's in Iraq. So what is it, how did the Egyptians in ancient Egypt go all the way to Iraq, like northern Iraq, and set up an entire like jail cell in the span of like what, an hour or two? Plot holes! Oh, and don't even get me started on all the stupid jump scares in this movie. Like, I don't know why. They're supposed to catch me off guard, but they make it so predictable. And just like, what is this like jump scares like every few oh my god, this is not like some trashy horror movie made on some dude's video camera. Like, this is supposed to be like movie with Tom Cruise, supposed to be a mummy movie, just like, no jump scares, stop, please. And also Russell Crowe in this movie, he's not in it a whole lot, but when he is in it, he's like, he's kind of like a secondary villain, and the film, like, he could have just been a normal archaeologist dude, and he would have been just fine, but no, he, like, takes this weird drug thing. I don't even know if you can even call him a mummy, or maybe he's actually, like, set in this, like, new human form, and he just, like, he terrorizes Tom Cruise's character for a little bit. I mean, Tom Cruise, what happened to Brandon Fraser? I kind of miss Brandon Fraser. He hasn't, like, the last movie I remember him being is in Furry Vengeance. That movie is super stupid, but that's why I love it. But, like, yeah, like, he's taking a dip, and now Tom Cruise is supposed to fill in that role. I mean, Tom Cruise, I love you, man. You're great. But, like, this role for you is just, like, it was so strange. And that, like, and I love strange things, but it comes to a point in this film where I'm just like, yeah, you could have chopped some things out. And the the ending in this film, again, without spoiling it, it ends way too abruptly. I'm sorry. And I get it, Universal, you're trying to set up this whole dark universe, but you could have done better. I feel so bad for all the people in Egypt because we keep butchering their culture through the art of cinema. Gods of Egypt, anyone? Alright, well, there's really nothing much left to be said about this film. I mean, it's campy. It doesn't take itself that seriously. But, like, I've seen campy films before that have been, I can say I thoroughly enjoyed. I just didn't with this. And for The Mummy, I have to give it a 3 out of 10 stars. It's an unlikable film. Okay, tell me, viewers, what is your least favorite reboot? Like, what was that one attempt to, like, restart a franchise that just made you go, no? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this review, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I honestly don't care. Alright, I will see you guys later. Good night.